I like the no-nonsense attitude and approach that he just had. Yeah. Hey, Aaron Rodgers is going to be talked about. I'm not an idiot. I know that. But we will make the decisions accordingly. But I also love what I heard, James, about he's kind of giving Aaron Rodgers a time crunch. Like, hey, I'm not just going to wait all offseason for you to drag this out. Rodgers, make a decision. So, James, you played with Aaron Rodgers. You tell me the decision. Is Rodgers the best option for Aaron Glenn and the Jets?
I believe so, man. Give yourself a fighting chance. Aaron Rodgers was 30 yards away from being a 4,000 passer and 2 touchdowns away from being 30 touchdowns. Give yourself a fighting chance as a first-year head coach. Have a plan after Aaron Rodgers, but for 1 year, give yourself a fighting chance to go out here and compete. You control the defensive side of the ball. You know you have a really good veteran over here, whatever offensive coordinator you bring in to control the offensive side of the ball, at least for 1 year. Then get your quarterback in there and go from there. This is his team. Yeah. And he's making it loud and clear that this is his team. He ain't going to have none of that nonsense in the locker room, in the building, none of that. That's what I love about it coming off. So, Aaron Rodgers, if you want to play, we would want to have you here, but I believe Aaron Rodgers is the best option for the New York Jets to go out here and have a chance to compete in some football games. I don't know any other quarterback in the draft, in free agency, that's going to come in here and be better than Aaron Rodgers. And if you already have that relationship with Aaron Rodgers and set that tone with Aaron Rodgers is the best person for the job for you in year one to really get this thing jumped off the way you want to get it jumped off.
The Jets should move on.
Wow.
I mean, look, the on-the-field stuff is good, and I agree. Like, I thought down the stretch he actually played pretty well. But they missed the playoffs for 14 straight seasons in a row. It's the longest drought in North American pro sports. Aaron Glenn, 5-year contract. Aaron Rodgers, maybe play 1 more year. Are you sure you want to hitch your wagon to Aaron Rodgers just because he can give you 28 touchdowns, almost 4,000 yards passing? Because I'm not saying anything about him being a teammate. I'm saying about the off-the-field stuff. I'm saying about all the notoriety, all the publicity that he brings. Like, I think eventually when times get tough in his first year, and times will get tough, I think that Aaron Rodgers might undermine what Aaron Glenn is trying to get done. You already know you're probably not making the playoffs. Mm-hmm. And if that happens, that's fine. So why not go out there through a draft? You know you're probably not going to make – you know you're probably going to lose some games. Why do it with Aaron Rodgers? I don't know if this roster is exactly where it needs to be. Obviously, you got to go find someone else. That's a whole different conversation because who else is there? Yeah. There's not a lot. I got free agents. I don't want to get into that. I just think that he might undermine Aaron Glenn as a first-year head coach from a leadership perspective. I
respect everything Chase just said. Now I respectfully disagree. The only reason being is Aaron Rodgers, you're their quarterback. You run the offense. You don't legitimately run an offense. I want the offensive coordinator. But, Glenn, unless you want the biggest headache of your life, you better have a quarterback there who knows what the heck he's doing. Aaron Glenn, they asked him, mind you, Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator for the Detroit Lions previously. They said, hey, Aaron Glenn, you're going to call the defense. He said, no, I want to be the head coach. And the best way for me to be the head coach is to not call the defense, obviously not call the offense. I just want to be head over everything. But imagine a world where you don't got a quarterback, Aaron Glenn. Now, all of a sudden, you're going to have to occupy roughly 50% of your bandwidth just to figure out the quarterback dilemma. You do not want those problems. I agree with what Chase said wholeheartedly as it pertains to you don't want to be undermined. But if you don't want to be undermined, come in and put your foot down like you just did in that presser. You need a quarterback. There aren't a ton of great quarterbacks just walking the market. I don't think you want to be committed to Sam Darnold if he happens to be free. I don't think you want Justin Fields if he happens to be free. I don't think you want Derek Carr if he happens to be free. Aaron Rodgers is the most talented option. Put your foot down, get Aaron Rodgers back in check, if you will, and move forward with Aaron Rodgers. I think he is the best option, though what Chase said is correct.
Hey, really quick before Shady go, what was the analogy? The wagon. Pull the wagon. What's that? You said
hit your wagon.
Hit your wagon. Yeah. What's
to
that?
him? Like, you know, Aaron Rodgers is the guy, and Aaron Glenn's going to hitch it to him. And as Aaron Rodgers goes, Aaron Glenn goes, he don't want to be one and done.
Gotcha. I didn't know that. That's a new one to
Oh,
me.
for real?
No, I didn't know that.
We ain't talking about the wagon that Shady talks about. We're talking about an actual wagon with a hitch.
No, move on for Aaron Rodgers. Out with the old and with the new. Aaron Rodgers is 41 years old, right?
40, right.
And if I'm not mistaken, he gave him 5 wins, correct?
5.
So everything you talked about as a head coach, you're saying, yo, you don't want to deal with the headache, right? You want somebody decent on offense. There's no other quarterbacks out there to get. Well, the quarterback you talked about and praised, the guy you keep talking about, he gave his team 5 wins. I don't know about these stats you keep talking about, right? I'm learning in football nowadays, stats don't really matter for unless you win. Joe Burrow was teaching us that, right? Jalen Hurts showing us that, okay?
You're right.
Number 2, right? When we talk about Aaron Glenn as a head coach, we look at him as light as Joe. He's going to be a hell of a coach. We think that, right? Because I think that.
Yeah.
And all the other coaches I felt the same way about, in their first year, they won. That's what makes a difference, though. You might not get a Super Bowl in your first year, right? But you show growth from picking number 7th this year, the Jets will be picking, right? Next year, we want to see them win some games, right? Because Dan Quinn, first coach, first year with the Commanders, picked number 2 last year, right? And now look at him. Them boys is in the NFC Championship game. Nick Sirianni, his first year the Eagles as coach. I don't know how great we thought he was going to be. We know he's a great coach now. His first year, James, playoffs. Andy Reid, first year with the Chiefs.
Started 9-0.
They won 3 years the year before that. They get Andy Reid, what do? Playoffs. That's what they did. And the last one, Sean McDermott. I know him very well. Coached with him in Philadelphia. Had a chance to coach with him in Buffalo. They had a long curse of not going to the playoffs. His first year as a coach, because we thought he was pretty good, right? What do? First year playoffs. You get what I'm saying, where I'm going with this? I think Aaron Glenn's in that same category with these other coaches. And you get rid of Aaron Rodgers, bro, because all he did is gave you 5 wins. And I think for you to be a really good coach, move on from that. New era in football. And I think he's good enough to win some playoff games.
That's really well said.
Or get to the playoffs.
That's really well said. The only pushback I would have on that is all them coaches that had turnarounds, they hit on the quarterback. All them losses. Hold on real quick. All them losses wasn't Aaron Rodgers. I'm just saying you got veteran quarterbacks or you got rookies that came in and played really, really well. You do.
You just covered that whole thing.
No, I'm serious. They had good quarterback play. Who are you going to get, Shady?
That's my
that's my only thing.
I get that.
And you could hit on somebody else, but I just don't know who
time
that
out.
person is.
Right, but if you're a good coach, right, it don't have to always be the quarterback. Because Sean McDermott, we didn't have this whole bunch of superstar quarterbacks. We didn't do that. Tyrod played solid vet, did his job, right? Then we had the rookie kind of.
Josh came in.
All right, okay. Alex Smith, I mean.
That's veteran, though. That's
They was
what I'm
calling
saying.
him a bust, though. They was calling him a bust. Nobody wanted him, though.
Yeah, good coaching.
Andy Reid.
And that's an offensive coach, so Andy Reid was able to handle that.
Okay. Dan Quinn, you got a rookie. Nobody knew what the rookie would be.
No,
you know what I'm saying? So all I'm saying is, James, you're talking about the unknown, but these coaches went through the unknowns. Sean McDermott went through the unknowns. Andy Reid went through the unknowns.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is Andy Reid came into a first rounder in Alex Smith, and he's a great offensive mind.
Yeah.
So for real though. So Andy Reid is like, man, okay, I can get him to play well in my system.
Cool.
There's no Jaden Daniels in this draft, and I'm just keeping it a buck.
Right.
There's no Jaden Daniels.
Wait, real quick, because I cut you real quick. You didn't know Jay Daniels was like this.
No, I didn't know he was going to the NFC Championship, but I knew he was a day one starter and going to help this team. All I'm saying for Aaron Glenn, even if it's a 1-year rental with Aaron, give yourself a fighting chance and then bring in that quarterback.
The only thing that
you saying it, but he didn't give you a fighting chance though. Y'all talking as if
But
this
all
guy,
of the losses ain't on Aaron.
But you're talking like this guy is just gonna kind of lead him. We thought that, but then you had 5 wins. What changed from the old Jets to last year Jets with Aaron Rodgers?
That's what we're going to find out with
Less
the coach.
wins. No, less wins.
Yeah, the only thing I sort of agree with Acho on, well, I mean, you already know I agree with you. I think they should move on. But to your point, James, too, like you look at who else is out there, Chase. It's the top free agent quarterbacks. It's a Sam Darnold. You're not going to get Sam Darnold back in the bill. You're not paying $40 million for Sam Darnold. It's like it's out. Justin Fields, Russell Wilson, Carson Wentz, Joe Flacco, Jameis Winston, Cooper Rush. Okay, probably don't like any of those guys for the situation that Aaron Glenn's in. So then I go to the draft.
And
you look at Cam Ward, you look at Shador Sanders. They're picking 7.
Yeah,
I think you have enough ammo to get up and get. Just say you do. Listen. Just say you do, which I don't think that's smart.
Yeah, fair.
I don't think those 2 guys are good enough to move up and give a lot of draft capital away. So then you're thinking, even if they do that, and they get a Shador Sanders who's there, and they somehow surpass the New York Giants. Is Aaron Rodgers going to want to teach Shador Sanders?
But he
like
did
how?
it though
I'm just saying how is that going to be in the locker room? Like you got to figure out that too, because I think you probably have to draft a guy, whether it's Jackson Dart or Shador or what. And if you bring Aaron Rodgers, how's that relationship? I'm just saying, how's it going to work?
You can say a lot of stuff about Aaron Rodgers and what he did in the media, but one thing I do know is his relationship with Brett Favre. It wasn't that good. All right. No, I'm being honest. As a rookie, it wasn't that good. You got this first rounder coming in, back in the old school. Old schools, Brett was old school. He don't want to see nobody drafted and all that type of stuff, so he handled it a little different. that always scarred Aaron. So any rookie that came up underneath Aaron, the Jordan Love, he gonna do whatever he has to do to make sure them dudes is gonna be in the right situation. That's why Jordan Love really always praises Aaron Rodgers, because that means something to him. I think it'll be phenomenal if even one of them failed to 7 and Aaron's there to learn from Aaron for
I agree
1 year.
But you would say that Jordan Love was never a threat to Aaron Rodgers. Shedeur Sanders,
first rounder.
it's not even on the same level.
That matters.
It's not even on the same level.
So really quick though, you know it was a threat because right when they drafted him, Aaron said, well, shoot, that changes things because he knew a first rounder got to play.
What up, YouTube family? Welcome to the facility. Thanks for watching, and you better be sure to hit that subscribe button if you want to get more highlights from the show and all of our exclusive content.